Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, everyone. It's a
Hey,
Girl Chat
Mo. How's it
Sports
going?
Wednesday. It's not necessarily quarantine, but it's a, social distancing episode is what we've been calling the last two.
Social
So,
distancing for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So shout out also to everyone that tuned in last week and to our guest, Gabe Robinson from the Lights FC Defender. We had a really good time chatting with him. So if you didn't check that one out, you got time to check it out because it's
Yes.
endless on YouTube, Spotify, and all of our platforms. And if you're watching us live, I am Mo and you got Mel. But I want you guys to do me a huge favor
Yes.
and start sharing, okay? Because we're in this space now where we are supporting all these Black businesses. We're supporting Black people in our media. And we would just like to share all of our platforms. And you can help with that by sharing ours.
Yes,
Just you.
indeed.
Just hit the share.
Please. And we're going to get straight into it because we've got a handful of guests, literally. We were on their podcast a couple weeks ago, the SportsLifeTalk podcast. They're based out of Dallas. And, a lot of stuff has changed in the last 2 weeks since we were on their show. So we wanted to get them on. We had a good time with them. We'd like to have them on too and kind of just to do a little discussion on what's happening new in sports and kind of like the current state of events right now. So
yeah, the temperature's rising, honey.
Yes. Welcome everybody. It's a slow mo here. Here we go.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Hey, ladies.
Welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes.
Anytime.
So go ahead. I don't know if anyone take the lead on this one. If you can just do like a quick, like introduction, your guys' podcast, where people can find you, that kind of thing.
KT.
Damn, stop playing. See, that's why I said we got on air and you gonna act like.
Are you not the head coach?
Come on, coach.
Are you not the host of our show?
Okay, so it's Sports Life Podcast.
Right? Okay, hey, it's a Sports Life Talk podcast where life without sports is just talk. We try to put the life into sports. We're not just a podcast that talks about stats because we can care less about that. We want to know more about the individual and the things that they're doing like in the community and things like that. Pam, would you like to add on?
No, that's about it.
Touche. Yeah, we've been going at it for a couple of years now, and me and KT got it started first, and slowly, progressively, we, started adding on great people to our team, and we've been rocking and rolling for the last, and we just got completing our 47th episode today. So we are, just got our website up today as well, and just trying to do our part into, growing the show. With everything that's going on, we still want to just make sure that, bring some kind of normal conversation that we have every Wednesday and, talk sports and a little bit of entertainment. It was great as usual. And but we're really excited about joining you guys as well.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. And so being in Dallas, I know we have one Cowboy fan for sure, right? Two.
It's three. Oh, KD's a Cowboy fan too.
Yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan whenever they win.
You're not a fan, boo.
Win regular season or win
I'm
postseason?
so happy you're honest.
Come on, KD.
You're one of those, KD.
B. Jones will be so proud of you.
Yeah,
I can accept that then. So that means you wasn't a fan of last season.
Yeah, I'm more of a player fan. So of course the team would be the Cowboys, and then I have my favorite players on a few different teams.
Okay. Gotcha. And there's people that are existing with that. I accept it. There are people that are not team fans, but player fans. That's just how the climate is when it comes to the sports thing now. I've never heard of it before in the past.
No.
Trend, so
KD,
I'll roll with it.
We will talk about this off air, KD. We don't come to Vegas and you embarrass us like this, okay?
Shout out to Natasha Gransberry, a Texas fan, coming out of Texas there.
Got a lot of people coming in.
Texans.
Welcome.
Pam, I know you're diehard Dallas and all of that. So is there any favorite player you might have on your team? That's a good question, though, that's a good mention that Katie brought up. Is there a player specific or you're all team?
I don't like any of them right now, but as a team, I love them. But individually, they all get on my nerves.
Yeah.
But you like Dez though, right?
Dez no
Dez is on
longer
the team.
plays, but
I'm
yes.
just saying that's who you like. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Hey, Dez.
Got you. Shout him out, girl. You might be watching.
Just saying, let me put that in the universe.
Please put it in the universe.
Get out there. Get
We
out
need
there.
that.
Yeah.
We totally need that. So, you know, with everything that's going on, start to finish, we probably are very tired. We're probably very exhausted. We are emotionally on edge. We are feeling all these various emotions. We want to scream. We want to shout. We want to cry. We want to punch the wall. We want to do all of these things. And I think in this kind of situation that we have right now, if you will, this may be a good thing of a wake-up call. Would you guys agree that the wake-up call is fine? You know, as Black people, we always kind of have a talk about there's going to be a time when we are going to change our minds and not hold back. And I feel like this is that time. Minus any rioting, looting, because I need people to be very understand that perfectly clearly that protesters, rioters, and looters are all three different entities. People are protesting on one street, looters and rioters are on the other street. Some may come intermixed because there's some antagonistic things going on that infiltrate the protests. But for the most part, the message needs to stay on task that Black Lives Matter. We've been knowing this forever, but now people are now realizing that it means something. And now we're going to talk about why Cap knelt. And speaking of that, I need you guys, and I want to know your opinions as far as his kneeling now instead of kneeling later. Like, for instance, if he didn't kneel, still had his job, and then knelt after all of this, if the season picks up, how impactful would the two be? Anybody can answer that.
Just think about it like this. Isn't it amazing that the reason why we're here to this point with the protest is because of somebody kneeling? Mm-hmm. Except this time they kneeled on somebody's neck. And what's amazing to me is we've seen all these videos of Blacks getting killed by cops and just senseless violence. So it's kind of sad that now we're just coming to this point where everybody is sick and tired of it. Not just Blacks, whites, every race, they're just tired of it. So it's kind of sad that George Floyd had to die in order for us to get to this point, but at least his death won't go like, just for nothing. You gotta know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it won't be in vain. It won't be in vain.
Yes.
And it also is a thing too, a testament to Minnesota and the upheaval in Minnesota, which I can't be too mad about because they never really made up for the Philando Castile. He watched that one on camera, him literally die in the car, being shot in the car with his girlfriend and his little daughter in the back seat. So I
think another thing that really got people's attention too is when he asked for his mother, who has been dead for years.
I think that spoke to people, and people don't understand when people are transitioning over to the other side, they see visions of people. His mom had already passed. He was literally transitioning on the ground, dying. He died on the ground. You could see everything that plays into that when people have those visions of ones that passed. So it's one of those heart-wrenching things. It's a thing that, we can't have onlookers just onlook. I mean, we love the filming because that's what brought it out. But, it's time for us to kind of hold our civil servant leaders or civil servant workers accountable. And they go and do these things without any kind of recourse, any kind of repercussions, and that's ending. So I think it spoke to a lot of people. I think it tugged on heartstrings of a lot of folks. And it's like, is this what it took for you guys to finally get it? Because we've been watching tapes. You guys didn't seem to be too upset with Ahmaud Arbery. We had a few allies slowly coming in.
Or Breonna Taylor.
Seeing it. Or Breonna Taylor. And now to actually see this man and his cries for help, like Eric Gardner's, let's not get that twisted, because Eric Gardner was crying for help too in his chokehold. Alton Sterling, same thing in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So all of these stories, we've seen it play out. But this one really, really resonated because the man literally died right then and there, with onlooking cops not doing anything and 3 other cops kneeling on him for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. So this is why we protest. This is why we try to get our message clear. And I just wanted to ask you guys while you're here, because you're in Dallas, and Dallas has been highlighted for a huge march. Can you guys give me some insight on what that vibe is like? What are your feelings? And remind you, with everybody doing this, we're still in a pandemic. We still have COVID-19. We still got Miss Rona out there. Rona is still waiting to make her move. So can you guys just give me briefly like what the temperature is like in Dallas and what's the mood like there?
Yeah, I think from just me not only watching the news but also seeing friends that are obviously going out and supporting as well. The biggest takeaway that I have is I think the first day or two when the anger was built up the most, you obviously probably saw not only rioters and looters, which that's everywhere, but also even just more aggressive, conversations or yelling at the, police officers that were coming out. But I think after a couple of days, I think they realized, and I think especially the Black communities really saw more and more non-Black people showing up. And I think they were like, wait, we have a lot more support than we've ever had. And if they're all with us, we don't need to get as aggressive because we can just do the regular protesting because the numbers are just growing. And, I've seen protests before, obviously, when things happen a day or two or three, but day 1 and 2 was great and day 3 or 4 kind of dies down. And I kind of expected the same thing just because that's the norm. And I just feel like people always forget about it and they just go on about their business. And maybe it's because of coronavirus and a lot of people are out of jobs and stuff like that. I don't care what the reason is. I'm just really glad and happy to see, my city, people going out there. And I feel like it's only growing actually every day as far as how many people are actually showing up. And now we're getting more and more and more pockets of different smaller towns also having their own, rather than only in downtown Dallas or downtown Fort Worth, where that's the 2 major cities in the area. You're actually seeing in all the suburbs and little towns and random street corners, you're having 20, 30 people just come out and do the same thing. So it's a beautiful thing to see. And I know they, did the arrest today for the other officers, but I don't see this, the numbers may dwindle down, but the protests are going to continue. I don't think it's going to slow down the next day or 2 or 3 just because, those guys are in jail now, we can call it a day. No. And I think there are actually even more people who would actually be out there. I not speak for myself that I know for a fact if it wasn't for coronavirus, and if I didn't probably have a son, I would be more inclined to just be out there myself.
Absolutely. I think we all would.
And so it's just amazing to see. And I'm a firm believer for a long time that everything happens for a reason. And, this is that time. And, you got to take, all the way from the beginning of the year when Kobe was the first one to pass. I had a couple of people that, I know in the industry, whether service industry or doing concerts and stuff with, a DJ that I've known for 15 years, he passed. I had my attorney for my entertainment company, he passed. It was just like, man, 2020 and then coronavirus. And then, but I feel like this is the one thing that I can see. Yeah, it's a negative, but actually the outcome will be, in the long term, will be a positive. And so that's what I'm holding on to. I know I can look back and be angry, but I'd rather look forward and seeing look at how many people are out there who agree, because I feel like, everybody wants to bring up MLK and what he did.
I'm kind of tired of that.
But I'm like, you do realize that 95 to 99% of the people that were out protesting with him were his people, meaning African-American people. It's not what it is right now. And I think because of that, we have the masses coming out and it's like everybody's fed up with it. And it's not just, I think Colin Kaepernick, talked about social injustice, police brutality, racism. They're all different categories. This was police brutality. When we get the conviction, we'll be able to know where was there social injustice, but then we can't just stop there. Okay, even if all those guys are going to jail for the rest of their life, that's, what about after that? Because this can't just stop with this one situation. It's not just system, but it's also people. And we have to start with people to really make the change and pass all that information down to the younger generation, which is they're the ones who are next in line to really take over.
Well, I think that's been one of the key things I noticed too through all the protests have been all over. Usually you see them in your major cities, but these protests have gone all across the country. into the other continents of the world, which is amazing to see all the support. But you also seeing that younger generation that's out there of all races, because they're the new leaders that are going to have to take this on, and they're going to have to promote it to their children. And if we're going to disregard people that are already of a certain age because they're stuck in their ways or whatever, we got to teach this to our kids. You got to teach it to the kids and the younger people coming up, because somebody's got to change the vibe.
I think it's important for you guys, for real quick, for Dallas, because it's the South and it's entrenched with so much racism, discrimination history. And to see all those facets you're saying, to your point of all those different nationalities coming together, that gives me chills, because the South has a history of them not rocking with us, or us dying for even rocking with them. So that's pretty good. And Pam, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were we gonna say?
Oh, no, it's okay. I live in a suburb. I live in Plano, which has been predominantly, non-Black, predominantly a Caucasian area. And I got stuck yesterday. I was just trying to go get some pizza, y'all, and I got stuck in traffic. And I'm like, what's going on? And it was the protesters. And when I actually looked, it looked like all the kids that my son goes to high school with. And they got to one part and they actually kneeled in front of the police officers with their hands up. And it kind of, like you said, it gave me chills and it made me cry. But then I started thinking, I hope you guys mean this. Right. I hope that this isn't just to be on TV or to be rocking with your friends or for Instagram or Facebook. Like, I hope you understand what you're marching and what you're kneeling and what you're holding your hands up really means. And when you go back to school and say a Black person pisses you off, do you slip back into the behavior that maybe you see at home, or what you're used to, or do you remember that this person is a human too? So that's kind of how I felt about it. I kind of had mixed emotions. Like, I'm glad to see y'all out here. These, I don't even know if they're millennials. I don't know what they are, 17, 18, 16-year-olds. Like, I'm glad to see y'all out here, but I hope you really mean this in your heart. Like, for real, don't just be playing out here.
Well, I think that's why the whole purpose of the Blackout Tuesday was so important yesterday. And I was busy doing a lot of work on Blackout Tuesday. It was definitely a time for pause, but I think people took it in the sense of we all pause, and it's not the case. We are trying to make Instagram be blacked all the way out, which means every feed is something Black related. If you're posting Black businesses, Black banks, things you didn't know, on Angela Davis, which books to read, which movies to watch. I mean, it was everything Black related on the Blackout Tuesday. So if you're going to be on the gram and you see that, then you know that there is education going on that whole entire day. And I personally, from my own Instagram alone, I was able to see that timeline go through. And it wasn't just the Black square. Everybody was following up with other posts and kept it going because it sparked conversations. We were doing it in our stories. I've had people of other nationalities reach out to me and say, Mo, you know what? I was so ignorant to the fact. I didn't understand what systemic racism meant. I didn't know what it meant when I was capitalizing on all lives matter. And to break it down like a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old to see a house burning and one house not, and they're putting the fire out on the house that's not burning, that kind of clicked for some people. They got it. They understand. So to your point, Pam, I hope that the young people got it, because that's what Blackout Tuesday was about. And I hope we keep some movements like that going, because I personally have made a pledge that I'm just posting everything Black related all up until the trial. After the trial, this is what we're doing. This is going to be the platform. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get an education lesson from us every day. Not to say that you can't go out and research your own, because we had to research our history, but it's good to see that people are actually seeing the real truths that we've been so passively not telling them. So, and then KT, what was your thought on the Dallas too?
The only problem I did have, and it's not really a problem, is that we have a Black chief of police and we have a Black mayor who are trying to, they had a platform for us to protest peacefully. And of course, you had people that came with bricks, and I know with protests, you're supposed to be uncomfortable. That's the whole point. But I just think that went a little bit overboard. Hey, if we got to tear up some stuff in order to get change, I get it. But that instance, I just kind of have a small problem with that. But moving forward, we have to get,
You got neighborhood businesses that are affected by this, by the looting and rioting. It's not right and it's not okay because some people, that's their only place to go to shop within their community. So you're destroying the things that are built for you. Now, you can be upset and you can throw bricks, but don't do it there. And honestly, with the brick thing, there were bricks being set up along the roadsides of road maps to some.
So many
there's a lot of instigators.
Yeah, it was a setup. Yeah,
groups that were doing that. So you have to stay woke with that. And I have to admire our people because they were really good at catching them and putting them on film and whooping their tails. Okay, do you hear me?
It's all just
doing
all
that. Yeah.
So, well, that was one of the issues too. I mean,
go ahead,
you see all the protesters. You see all the protesters in various different climates of the United States, and I mean weather-wise as well. But then you see people that have on black hoodies, black masks, black sweatshirts, black sweatpants, and they're head to toe covered, even gloves. Like, there's not too many protesters that went out the house to protest peacefully, wearing head to toe garb and basically trying to not be seen. It's easy to point those ones out. And I'm glad that the people did, because when I saw some of those people taking advantage of, Black Lives, and you saw them, the one girl I posted that was they caught the two girls writing on Starbucks, and a bunch of other cases that were out there. It was just disheartening to see that, it has to come to that. Like, you got to come out here to try and just stir up the pot some more.
Well, one big takeaway I'm noticing from this is cops are all watched too. So now we're arresting police officers for doing egregious thing within the protest. Some people that aren't participants of it. I know you guys know about the situation in Atlanta with the kid from Morehouse, the girl from Clark, and how they literally rode up on their car, yanked on their door handle, slashed their tires, and busted their window. And they're doing that quite often, and it's getting sight unseen. And when you do film it, you don't know the circumstance of it. But I love the fact that Atlanta is not playing any games now, and they're looking at their department, and they're going to be like watchdogs. And I think across the world, we all need to be watchdogs when things go happen. If you see someone getting pulled over, you may want to be that innocent bystander to stand back and watch them, film them.
I have done that.
Yeah, I've just to make sure that people are safe, because they are still, there are still a lot, not a lot, I don't know the numbers, but there's still some in the force that have the misconception that our lives still don't matter. And they're still treating us as such. We lost a gentleman in Kentucky who was marching for Breonna Taylor. He was a barbecue guy. He was actually feeding the cops, and those very cops he was feeding, one of them killed him.
I heard about that.
Senselessly. So it's still going on. We're going to have casualties of war because we are at war right now. And it's going to be some casualties. It's going to be some falling, but we cannot forget what the message brings, and we can't forget what it's encompassing. So the police itself, they're on watch. And I believe in the Blue Lives Matter, like Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, but guess what? We also have black cops too. So that kind of negates the narrative of saying Blue Lives Matter when you have black cops too. And there's systemic racism within the department they work for too. And the fact that they don't have the voice and the power to call out those that work alongside them that have taken the same oath to step up and do something. And mind you, those cops in Atlanta that did that, I believe 4 of them were black. So 5 of them were black.
5 of the 6 were black.
5 of the 6 were black. So again, they even have issues within themselves that they are now kind of sold off into this mentality because of who they work around. So it's a lot of layers to this. It's going to be peeling back a lot of layers. It's going to be some ugly truths coming out. There's a situation now in New Orleans, Drew Brees. I mean, I don't know how people didn't get the memo. I mean, I didn't think about it because I didn't really know. And Saints being my second team, it wasn't like I was surprised. It wasn't until my younger brother was like, Mo, Black Sports Online had uncovered this a couple years back, how he was. You didn't read that one? I was like, no, I didn't. I didn't know. So what is your guys' take on that as far as his position and his stance, and still negating the fact that Cap knelt for what we're marching for today? He thinks it's still about the flag. He still thinks it's that narrative. So what did you guys take when you guys saw that tweet today, or if you did see his?
First of all, I don't like Drew Brees. I don't like the Saints. So B. Jones wanted one of us to be an advocate and not let everyone talk about Drew Brees too bad. It ain't gonna be me. Let me just say that. I already knew. And I can just say this, I used to work at a law firm with his mom. So I know where he got it from.
There's some theory.
Yeah.
Some 411 right there.
Hey, Drew. That's how I feel about it. I just people.
Can you cite any examples? Are there any examples that you can cite? I just want if you're gonna say it, I just want to see if you can go in.
No, I'll just say that she was not. Now she worked in Austin. I worked in the Dallas office, but it was at a law firm. She's an attorney. I don't know if she still is, but she's an attorney, and just having to work with her was just.
Yeah. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Breathe it out.
Yeah. So, I just people who still think it's about, like I said earlier when we were talking, kneeling is not a sign of disrespect. You get on one knee to propose. You knelt in front of kings and queens. You kneel, for Jesus. I mean, come on. Kneeling is not a sign of, if he was throwing up a middle finger, if he was grabbing his junk and acting. I mean, if he was doing these things, throwing out cuss words and all that, I could get what you're saying. But all he did was take a knee. And
Tim Tebow used to kneel too. Nobody remembers that though.
Yeah, and nobody cared about a knee until the knee, like KT said, ended up on a black man's neck. Nobody cared about a knee. And so now all of a sudden people are like, oh, okay, we see what Cap is doing. But here you still at this point trying to say it's disrespectful to. Boy, sit down.
Have several seats. Have an infinity worth of seats because
you know Mercedes Benz Stadium and sit down. Go to each and every one of them seats in that stadium and sit down. Like
he's going to be taking a lot of seats this season. Watch as he gets sacked. Everybody's going to be targeting him.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that.
I mean, my only thing is, if you felt that way, why say it now? You've made this about you now. So it's taken away a little bit. When you're protesting and you're fighting for a cause, you always have a hiccup. So this is a little hiccup. We didn't need to hear that from you, Drew, especially with just everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's disheartening, it's sickening, and I'm just tired of it. I even debated coming on y'all show tonight because I really didn't want to talk about this. But Drew Brees, he knows better than that.
He does. And he put up a black square on Instagram yesterday, too. How dare you?
He sure did. And I was joking. I was coming on the show anyway. I was just kind of outside.
You were? Okay.
But
I understood.
Yeah, I just got in the moment. But no, I was coming on the show because you guys are great.
I'm like, wait a minute.
No, I was totally joking.
That's a topic. We do something else. What do you need?
No, I was totally joking. But he was wrong for that, and I'm glad that Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, they let him know. And they're supposed to have a meeting. They're supposed to have a meeting to talk to him about that because it wasn't needed. Yes. And the Denver coach, what's his name? Vic, whatever.
Mangio.
Oh, he was ridiculous. Come back with a sorry apology afterwards. Like, if you're going to say it, just leave it. Don't come back and apologize.
Yeah, once you've said it out there, just go with it.
Go that way.
Two things for me was, one, I'm a huge Drew Brees fan. Just when it comes to football, I'm a Colts fan. I became a Colts fan because of Peyton Manning, but I'm really a big player fan. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, guys like that. And I also know that he's done a lot for his community, from Hurricane Katrina to, I know even with coronavirus, his family has donated over all that stuff. But with that being said, it's like time and place of what it is, and just because you got asked it, because I listened to the whole thing like twice, 3 times. But let me just make sure that I didn't miss something, because you get asked a question, and with like what KT said, with everything that's going on, the temperature in the room was for you to just say, even if you felt it, you should have just said something a little bit more that's, conducive to what's going on. Or if you wanted to still have that stance where, hey, I see why Kaepernick was doing it back then in 2016. I can see where people are frustrated and, with the social injustice that are happening, and with I support the protesting, and, I wouldn't do it when next season start, but I could also see why maybe some of the African-American athletes may end up doing it because of what took place and what we're trying to do moving forward. So you don't have to be okay with other people doing it, because you're not going to do it, but don't make it seem like if anybody else does it, because he wanted to bring up his grandfather and military. Well, you know how many other people, black players, their families have also been in the military.
How many slaves fought in the Civil War and were used as a frontliner? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, I don't.
And for everybody that doesn't want to read, we can reference Glory and you can go check out that movie with Denzel Washington. Go for it. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's like you have to just know, like, come on, like, we're still in the heat of this thing. You know what's going on. Like you said, you just posted something about Blackout Tuesday. So did you really just do it just because it's a cool thing to do, or did you mean it when you did it and understand the, you know, what the whole purpose behind it was?
Well, let me say that you said that he does a lot for his community and he donates and he this. Y'all know that there's normally somebody behind him saying this is what you need to do. So because he's in his community, giving back to Louisiana and New Orleans and doing all this stuff, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what his heart wants to do. That's what his publicist and his relations or whoever told him he needed to do to keep him in good standing or to be seen as this person. I mean, come on, just because he's out there doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's in his
he has
heart.
a manager, he has a publicist.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
That's it.
So I think what he said was really how he always feels, and all this other stuff you've been doing, he probably don't even run his own social media. Somebody else probably posted that for him. He probably knew nothing about it. So, I mean, all of these, oh, well, he was this and he was that. That's stuff somebody told him to do.
One thing that I had an issue with too is that he speaks, it's always about disrespecting the flag. That's the main fight on that side, is it's about disrespect. It's not, because think about all the people, the fans and coaches that are there that don't take off their hat. If you don't take off your hat, that's disrespecting like the flag and the national anthem. What about people that are filming during this time? If you're on your camera filming all this, that's disrespecting it too, to be honest. So it's not even about that. The fact that he wants to make this, and not only that, but he was asked a question about what he thought about the movement, and he didn't even mention the movement. He just talked about the disrespect of the flag. Now, I can tell you, even personal, from like, my father was in the Vietnam War, and if he was still here today, he would have no problem with this. There's a lot of people that served in our country that aren't African American that definitely are supportive, because they don't condone innocent people getting killed at the hand, especially at the hands of police officers.
Right.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people forget, at first Colin Kaepernick was sitting. Then he talked with the military guy, and he's the one who suggested taking a knee. So even when he was doing that, you still had a problem. So it wasn't really you had a problem necessarily only he's taking a knee, but obviously, I mean, from my understanding, he's mixed and he's not fully black. Am I correct on that, or is he?
He's biracial. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's biracial.
He's biracial.
By white parents.
But I don't. I think most people saw him more as an African American than they did see him as Caucasian. So it's because if he was a star player, say like Patrick Mahomes, who's also a mixed, he probably wouldn't be losing his job, because I just believe that, because I think his play wasn't, obviously that season wasn't up to par. It kind of started going down, and it was like, oh, this is an excuse for us to kick him out of the league. But what has he done? He didn't just stop there. Okay, I lost my job not playing in the NFL, but look what all the great things that he's been doing in the community, working with Nike, starting his own foundation, but also pledging every time something is going on. So it's like, he didn't just take that moment and, sit back and be like, man, I should have just kept my mouth shut, or I could have at least waited a couple of years, made some more money, and then did it. Right. No, he did, and he stuck with it, and he's doing 10 times more than he was doing back then when he
Absolutely. He's got his organization, and the thing of it is they weren't mad at the symbolism of the knee. Let's be clear on that. They were mad at why he knelt. They were mad that he put the message out there. They don't want to face a truth, an ugly truth of how blacks are treated in this country. And they run and they hide and they put their hand in the sand. So it wasn't so much a thing of his kneeling. It was the reason for the kneel. It was to call out people that kill us, pretty much. He said he was sick and tired of the disproportionate race of African Americans getting killed, the systemic racism and implicit biases that we have. It was more of his post-game interview of the reason. They blamed it on the act, but it was the message. No one wants to ruffle feathers. No, we can't talk about race right now. We can't talk about, it's just too, no, we can't talk. That happened so long ago. I don't know why he's bringing it. So it was that. Yeah. And now you're forced to have a conversation off of the fruition of his statement and his action of kneeling. So let's be clear. That's what it was.
Do you know what somebody told me on my Facebook? I had posted when the whole George Floyd thing happened. I posted a picture of Cap kneeling and then the cop kneeling on his neck. Mm-hmm. And I posed the question. I said, so are y'all still mad at Cap or no? And I had a white friend that came on my post and said, yes, I am. This, and I quote, this is not a regular occurrence in our nation.
What?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Where have you been living? Pop her bubble? Please tell me you popped her bubble, because she's been living in a bubble this whole time, ignoring everything around her.
You know what? I went back and forth with her about 2 times, and then I had a meeting, and when I came back, like everybody I knew had just gone in on her. And then, you know, all the truth really came out, because then all of a sudden she started talking about, and y'all, this went on for hours. Because I think she posted at 5, and at midnight, she made her response at 5, and at midnight, this was still going on. And I was just like, what world are you living in? Like, maybe you're just blind to it.
She lives in a bubble, turning blind.
This is how you're walking around.
Because it's too uncomfortable. Because it's too uncomfortable, and they don't want to face an ugly truth of their ancestral history. Well, guess what? We have to face it every day. Mm-hmm. We live with it. We have to suppress it. And now we can actually exhale soon. I'm not ready to exhale yet, because I ain't satisfied with everything that's going on right now. And I still won't be satisfied.
And what Pam mentioned about, like, her friend, well, not really a friend, but somebody on Facebook commented about that this is a rare occasion. And I hate the term when people try using this whole, there's just, a few bad apples. Well, man, there's a lot of bad apples, because I've been seeing this time and time. And then one thing, if it wasn't for recording and video camera and cell phones, we probably wouldn't see half of these things.
So just imagine the things we don't see.
Yeah.
We don't see, or somebody isn't around to videotape, or they didn't think about videotaping, or so the bad apples, when there's a lot and the percentage is high, or they haven't maybe yet murdered somebody yet, but they've still done other wrong things, it's all in the same boat, so the whole bad apple situation, I liked what Chris Rock said, people talking about bad apples. Well, can we have a pilot who's a bad apple? Like, we can't have a few bad apples. A couple of these guys will, just randomly crash, and they're okay with what. No, you can't have bad apples when you're supposed to be protecting and serving. Like, right?
Right.
We can't have, doctors who do some successful surgeries, but some not, and we're going to go rely on them doing ours. Like, that's not how it works. So the police are supposed to be there, like, hey, if I'm in trouble, I should be able to call on you, and you're supposed to come help me. Now, if you see something, then you've been trained, just like when people go to school or medical school or whatever career it is, you get trained, even at your job, to do the job you're supposed to do. And if you go out of line, you usually get reprimanded or fired. And but it's like, no, with this particular man, police officer, or no longer police officer, but Chauvin, I mean, is like all the past history that he's had, 16 complaints, killed another person back in 2008. So it's like, it's a system issue. It's not an individual or bad apple issue. It's a system issue, because you're just like condoning it. Whatever. We just turned the other way, because it hasn't become an issue as of yet on a world level, really. And now it is. And now, that term everybody has been using the last 4 or 5 years about stay woke. Well, now the police officers have to be stay woke, because if you don't, people are going to be coming after you with no regards, and they don't even care what's going to happen after that.
Well, I mean, let's just take that scenario for a second of bad apples. Like, if you have a crate of apples and one goes bad, what does it do to the other ones? It turns them bad eventually too. I mean, it just takes a little time. So the thing is that police departments, and like you said, the higher ups, I know for my job, when I get in trouble with something, there's disciplinary action. Okay. And there's only like, yeah, okay, maybe you slipped up one time. Maybe there was a one issue and you're going to change your, the way that you may need some more training or whatever. You're not going to get chance 5, chance 10, chance 18. No. That's never going to happen. So why is it that the police are able to have these situations?
Because their higher ups are with it.
That's why it's important to vote.
Their unions are with it and their higher ups are with it. And I urge every Black person, and I've had this conversation with my dad, young, old, whatever, get on the police department. Police your own communities. You don't need someone that does not represent you, and representation matters, policing and being a sheriff in your area dictating. You need to get infiltrated and over. Because did you see the video where the sister stepped in when that one kid was getting harassed on the curb?
Yes.
That's why we need us and more like us in those departments, in those positions of power to try to overthrow all of that.
Yeah, and I think people lose sight. You do realize that it wasn't one bad apple in the situation. There were 4 bad apples in this one situation. There was no actually good apples that were just standing around and didn't do anything. No. It was all 4 more bad apples. 1 and 2, like the whole notion that it's just convenient that you can just get away with it because you just kind of know, like, well, that's been the norm, so I'm going to stick to it. And we're told and taught, see something, say something. But when it comes to police, when you see something, just don't say anything because that's just not how it works. Where does that make any sense?
The girl on my post, I guess her brother was I think she said her brother. I didn't read half the stuff she wrote, but she said something about, well, he has PTSD from the stuff that he's seen and this and that. Ma'am, then he needs to go be a security guard at the mall. I mean, you can't have this type of job. And if there's, already know that he's on this medication and he's on that, I'm sorry, then why is he still a cop? I don't want him coming to protect me. I need the one that has his right mind coming to my house when some things go down, because I don't need you slamming me on the ground. I'm sorry, sir, I caught you. Like, if you have PTSD or you're a cop that's going through something, then you need to take a step back and you need to find you something else to do. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start taking it out on people.
They all need to have a mental check. There's a lot of procedural things that need to happen. I think that's a wake-up call for the chief of police, the mayor of different cities, that they need to put implementations and plan and retrain, re-educate, and get the bad ones off the force. Just that simple. That simple.
Yeah, and then also,
if you see them, you need to get them out.
And offer incentive for the good ones, so that you are more than likely, just like everybody's job, we do an annual evaluation or whatever. Do the same thing. If you don't have any complaints, or if your complaint was, obviously biased or something like that, then you give them extra bonuses or whatever, so that they're more inclined to do the right thing as opposed to just turn the other way. And so I think there's a lot that can be done.
And give out stiffer demerits. If you happen to turn your body cam on, that's the demerit. If you continuously turn your body camera off, you're out of here.
Oh yeah.
How is that even allowed?
Because the body cams are still allowed to turn off, turn on. They should make.
There shouldn't even be 3 strikes for that. It should be 1 and out.
Stay on. They stay on, and when you report back into command, your command person turns it off. It should be a system like that. As soon as you walk out the door, we turn the cam on. We're not going to turn it off. It stays on. When you come back and I don't know the inner workings, any cop, shout out to Goose and all of those. They can always educate us on that. But it's that kind of thing. You need stiffer penalties for the little inactions that they don't do.
Correct.
And that's how you know which ones are going to be good and bad.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot. We're just going to take a breath real quick.
But hey, shout out to y'all guys. Dak Prescott did give up $1 million for police training. So however that unfolds, hopefully that money gets.
That's good.
Wait, where did Dak get $1 million from? He ain't signed a contract yet. Dak, hold on. Wait,
from those private parties he's been hosting. He be getting that money.
No, Mel, you do not speak on the Cowboys at all. I'm not letting you get away with it.
Go right ahead.
No.
See, that's what's wrong with black folks. You're spending money you ain't even got yet.
No, he got his Campbell soup. He got his
Campbell
he has
like 13
money.
Endorsements, so he has money.
Oh, okay. I'm just.
Don't you start. I can't have you and Mel acting up tonight. No.
I just think he has.
How dare you? They're just speaking their truth. They are just speaking their truth.
Serge, I'm gonna need you to have my back on this because I'm getting jumped.
Bro, I can't. That was she dropped a good one there. It was too funny.
That's ever coming for me. I want to know what's your take on the outpouring love of everything from our athletes? Like, what's the best tweet you've seen? The actions of Steven Jackson, who was George's brother. Let's just be real. They look alike. That's your brother.
They look exactly alike.
That's your brother.
Exactly.
I mean, we could say brother from another mother or whatever, but that is your brother. So what is your guys' take? And then seeing Gianna, another Gianna. Like another Gianna.
On his shoulders?
On his shoulders, yes.
That did it for me. That
did it for me too. That did it for me. My
and
dad
what did you say? My dad changed the world? Yeah.
My daddy is changing the world.
He did.
Crazy.
What do you see? And we hope that happens. We hope the fruition happens.
For sure. I mean, he's going to be in history books, hopefully by the time my son's in high school, for sure. I'm those are the kind of things, even with the negative situation, that make me feel good. In the big picture, I know he's going to get talked about in that aspect. And if you grow up in this generation, you're going to be able to tell your kids and pass it on to go into the future. But man, I feel like there were just so many guys from all walks of life, entertainment, artists, obviously sports celebrities. But I'm always gonna, in a situation like this, I guess I kind of expect the African-American athletes to say and support. So I'm more into looking at the white side of people who are doing and speaking out. I would say the basketball team wise, and probably in sports, the team that I hate the most, I respect them, but I hate the most is the Spurs. But I love me some Greg Popovich. He keeps it 100.
They're all on my top. They're on my top threes. They're my top three.
Greg Popovich is that dude. He's that guy, and he doesn't hold back, and he says it like it is. And even his team, the organization, hasn't really came out with anything, but it's, I don't need them to. He's the face of the franchise. Like, I don't care about,
his privilege for good use. I'll put it to you that way.
And he calls it like it is, as much as, everybody wants to talk about his like 1-2 word answers when he gets interviewed, and he's harsh with his players, but the human element comes out when real situations happen. And so I definitely got to go with what Greg Popovich and the things that he had to say. And he's been saying a lot of these things for the last few years, but now I feel like he just knows if he says something now, the people that were turned off by him now will be like, oh, you know what, man, that's our coach, but he's more than just a coach, and so it's just great that what he said, and 1,000% supported that guy.
Yeah. And it's a great example because he is now part of the NBA's new committee for racial injustice, along with Steve Kerr and a handful of other coaches, which I think is a great example that hopefully can continue on. But I mean, Pops,
and give it up to Adam Silver, because he's the guy too. I mean, Adam Silver, you got to really give it to him, because he really is allowing the space for that.
Yeah, and he always talks with his athletes. Like, absolutely, I wish Roger Goodell would do that a little more often. But he's all about inclusivity, because he knows majority of the players are African American, and then also the rest are really Europeans. So if you want to keep the game a global sport and also at the same time do great things, and because you're competing with the NFL, obviously, for viewership and things like that, but and it's been since day one. I mean, his first biggest job he had to do was get rid of Donald Sterling of the Clippers.
So, blackballed.
Yeah, and there was going to be backlash for that from your white viewers and stuff like that. So,
but he didn't care. He didn't care, and he protected the interests of his players.
And so ever since then, he's been on the trend upwards. And so anything that he does really doesn't surprise me. Honestly, I just wish other commissioners and other leagues would kind of take that approach, baseball and football especially, to really be more inclusive about a lot of things. And, social issues are going on, not just social injustice or racism. We have issues all over the world. But if we want to just narrow down to a country, there's a lot, even when it comes to drug abuse, domestic violence, and giving players support, it's all of that is there. You know, when they did the mental health stuff with DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Love, I mean, he was there like helping them out. Like, okay, now we're gonna actually make sure every team has mental health doctors that you can go to, you can call, you can have sessions, and I don't, you know, and it's like everybody else is doing it after he does it, if they do it, you know. So.
And I think also too, let's talk about that. The NFL puts out a statement, and if you want to call it a bogus apology for Kaepernick or recognition of recognizing what his kneeling meant in his statements. What is your guys' take as far as for the NFL? Do you think that this is a stuff your sorry is in a sack situation, too little, too late, or are we waiting to see some change happen because they put that statement out?
I mean, are they still going to do that third round pick if I hire a black person thing now?
Yeah, I think so. I think they didn't take that off.
Oh, okay.
I think they just had to save face. They had to save face.
Exactly.
That's all this was.
Let's be honest. Have y'all been getting those emails from? I got one from Ulta and from Foot Locker and from all these. Oh, we stand with everybody, and I'm sitting here like, really? Okay.
What's the language in those emails that you're getting that the NFL missed? Because I feel like if you're not putting in the language about black people specifically, then you've missed your mark on all of that.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you, Mo, when they put that out, I didn't even read it because, I mean, Kaepernick, he needs to be in the league. He's been blackballed. So you're trying to bring this message out now, but this man is still out of a job for what he did. Not on the playing field, on the sideline before a game.
Right.
It's just not right.
Yeah, with the NFL, man, I got to see action. I can't just see words because y'all been talking about doing this and that for all this time, and I haven't really seen any real action. So if you back it up with real action when the season starts and stuff, then I'll maybe be on board with what you had to say. But until then, I just don't see it now. When Cap protested, obviously you had some viewers turn off or didn't want to watch or I'm boycotting, whatever. I'm wondering if, you know, some of the African-American viewers maybe will turn off because they're not doing things that, you know, you would want them to do to, you know, infiltrate and do things for the black community and bringing more awareness and do things, making each team do something in their own communities. But then the NFL also has its own, you know, dedication as far as like doing things at games during halftimes. I mean, there's so many different things you could, you know, put it in, but I got to see that action for me to really say like, okay, I see, because, you know, I could also see where people would be like, hey, maybe I don't want to watch football now because you aren't doing something for us. When white people were turning off because, oh, I can't believe somebody's disrespecting the flag when that's not what it was about.
Well, Serge, it was a lot of people that didn't tune in to the NFL because of what they did to Cap. It went both ways. I got messages on Twitter. Yeah, I got messages on Twitter from people saying, "Are you still watching NFL for what they did to that?" And my thought process is, I don't want politics in my sports and the entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? I want to watch a good professional football game, but I know that's not the case because there's politics everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Office politics, no matter the capacity.
So it's the fact that there's so many violent acts that happen on the field, mid-game, or even outside of the game, that these players maybe get a slap on the wrist, a couple of fines, a few missed games, but they're back into playing. One person, like you said, takes a non-violent approach, a peaceful protest prior to a game even starting, not even on the field, not even trying to stop the game to do it, and he can't even get the job.
Like Mo said, it was the message. It wasn't the fact that he was doing it. It was the message.
That's what everybody's getting confused. It's not the act. It was what he said in the post game, in the locker room, in the post locker room. Why he knelt. This is why. I'm sick and tired of seeing what I'm seeing on TV. Every time I turn on the TV, it's this.
So what would be y'all's thoughts if now all of a sudden we start hearing rumors, or and especially next season, that, oh, look, magically we're going to give him a tryout, or we're thinking about signing Cap? I wouldn't like it because you're basically admitting guilt from what you've been doing. So
yeah, they've already tried that with him, and I'm sure he's probably like, peace, I'm not playing with you guys anymore. I think at this point now, we need to choose a side of what side we're going to be on. And yes, we are a sports platform. Yes, we perform the sports, but sometimes things are bigger than what
course.
bigger than sports. And so
we do this for fun.
Loud and clear. And it should have been loud and clear when he did it the first time. Solidarity of all those brothers on the team says, you know what, you can do with your contract, take it and go. Because guess what? We got overseas money, people from Dubai or whoever who would love to take all of us and create a league of their own. You don't think they would give the money for that?
Yeah.
All these stars they can get a collectively team of all these black. Are you kidding me right now? Right. So I think the power is also with the players. They've got to really take a stand and speak out. And a lot of them are scared. And a lot of them don't know how to approach. But that's over with. You got to stop that. You got to have these conversations.
Definitely done and over with.
And as fans, we have to write to them. We have to send emails if we got to our favorite teams. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because we're not hurting. We're not going to buy any more PSLs for your for the stadium. We're not going to do any of this if you guys don't make a change.
Yeah, let me see you play with replacement players.
They can go college if they want to. Good luck with that. But it even starts with the coaching. We talked about this before with the staffing. You don't have any black presidents, no GMs, no coaches, no assistants. You don't have anything that encompasses what we look like except players on the field. That's a problem.
Right. That is a problem when most of the players that have retired,
running for you and winning for you.
Exactly. Yep. I'm still
as long as they're scoring those touchdowns and doing those blocks, we're fine. Yeah. We're your best friends. But the minute we step off the field, it's something. Your attitude towards us completely changes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still waiting for your coach, KT, Jerry, or your owner, Jerry, to say something. Is he going to say something? Because he hasn't.
Please.
Please.
He just had a facelift during Corona. He's busy, right? He's trying to recover right now.
He's
scrubbing.
The
Cowboy Land has been quiet, silent on all of this. I'm just curious.
He's scrubbing his yacht from the draft. He's still scrubbing the yacht.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going to try to defend anything that Jerry did. When he did try to, let's kneel before the cameras roll. Y'all remember that? I'm like, come on, man.
Yes.
That was weak.
It's America's team, of course. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Let's just not kneel. That was. He tried to show some solidarity. It didn't really go over well.
He was trying to appease.
But Mo, the fact that you said that, I'll take it now. If your partner said that, I'd have said something else.
Okay. Because I don't really harass you that much, brother. I'm trying to keep
exactly. I'm trying to get a game of. I'm trying to get a game of 2K with you.
We don't need none of that.
No, I'm trying to get a game of 2K with you. I'm gonna go get the game on Xbox, and I'm trying to play you. I'm gonna get it just so I can play you.
Okay. So can I tell you, real quick, I digress. I've stopped. This is big when I stopped playing my Xbox.
Because she was addicted like every single day.
I haven't played it like a week. But tomorrow's my self-care day, and I urge all of you to take, and everyone out there listening, we've got to take a self-care day where we turn off the social media, turn off the TV, do some other activity, read a book. We need a day just to kind of chill from all this.
Decompress.
I take that every day. I take that every day.
We keep watching it and watching it. We're going to be obsessed like the OJ trial. Like, there's stuff that you just, it's like a car crash that you can't just stop watching. But there's a day that we just need to kind of woosah and do that. And I think tomorrow's going to be my Xbox day. So, KT, you need to let me know when you get your game because I gotta go back and practice.
I already have it, and I have an Xbox. So
you have Xbox too?
Yeah, I was playing 2K till about a month and a half ago, and then I've been playing Call of Duty like every day now. At nighttime.
See, and I got into Grand Theft Auto 5 and I was playing that. Like it just kind of switches off, but I'm down to play with both of y'all.
I play usually like from like now for another like 3 hours. So that's usually my time. Yeah, okay.
I'm with it.
Wow.
Ma'am, I don't do any of that. So
I don't do games. Like,
all right, come on, Phil Bell. Let's play games together.
Pam.
I play games with her.
No.
I don't play games with
No. You're not high-fiving Mel on that. You don't high-five her on that.
I need something. I'm missing my aces. I play the WNBA when I play 2K, and then I play my Lakers when I play 2K. And I'm missing my sports. I need something. And I got Madden too. I haven't even it's downloaded on my system. I haven't even played it yet. But I know the NBA did announce that they're going to come back possibly with 22 games.
22 teams.
22 teams.
Yeah.
And they just
in Orlando.
In Orlando. So they're going to do the Orlando Disney.
But here's the deal. Orlando's going to have the NBA as well as the MLS. So and it's gonna. I mean, Orlando's gonna be crazy there. Lots of money in the southern or in Florida there. My question, Mo. Of course, we all know the NHL is coming back as well. That's gonna be towards like the middle of July when the season starts, supposedly. And they're only picking 2 sites, which they haven't named those names yet. And because Vegas was a supposed site for NBA, I'm thinking maybe that means the NHL is coming here.
Yeah, and I think Dallas is on the list too. Dallas is on the list for NHL.
Nice.
But also the WNBA, they're trying to come back as well.
Yeah, they need to because I can't be playing with these girls. But the funny thing about Xbox is they upload the new roster, so I got the new roster a little bit now. So it's like, wait a minute, the new players are on now.
Yeah.
So
I just go get massages. I'm gonna go get my nails done, toes done. That's
please get those toes done. Get those.
Oh my God! Are you
guys in a phase? Like, what phase are y'all in out there?
I'm going wherever the heck I want to go, Faye.
No, I mean, like, are places open yet, or?
Yes. Restaurants are about to go to 100%. Bars are about to go to 50%.
Wow.
Later this week or next week. So I just heard that earlier today. Obviously, cases have gone up in the last 2 days, but I think that was because not because of the protest. It was because of we started opening up 2 weeks ago, and now it's that infiltration of people. Now, in a week or two, we'll really know how this protesting stuff has really caught on to that coronavirus.
We're gonna have to end up. We're gonna end up shutting down again for at least 2 months.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, because people like me been going to get a massage at the nail salon.
You just don't care.
I got my nails done, but other than that, I've been in the house.
I'm going to eat. Nothing will stop me from eating. I'm gonna tell you that now. Nothing.
I love to eat, but I'm eating at home. I'm not ready yet.
This world, everything could be burning, and if I see a McDonald's, I'm gonna be like, let me go get this.
Not Wendy's though. Not Wendy's.
Yeah, not
Wendy's. Pizza Hut.
Wait a minute, y'all. They hurt my heart when they say Chick-fil-A. My heart is hurting.
Yeah. Well, no, we knew that about Chick-fil-A. We knew that about Chick-fil-A. They've been like that.
Oh, Chick-fil-A been like that, honey.
But hey, listen.
They was against LGBTQ. That's different for me. That was enough.
Here's
the
thing.
That. I'm cool.
Yeah, so damn good though. It's just hard to turn it down though. That's the only problem. It's hard for me to say no. But what surprised me was Waffle House. Did y'all see the Waffle House was on the list?
No.
Waffle House was on the list?
Yeah,
Waffle House. IHOP. Let me see if I have it on the phone. I'm gonna tell y'all.
Yeah, revealed the list because I know Home Depot is one of them because that was early
CVS.
on. Hobby Lobby was one of them.
CVS.
Yeah, so we got Wendy's, Taco Bell, Carl's Jr., White Castle, Chick-fil-A, Papa John's, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Domino's Pizza, Waffle House, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, Krispy Kreme, Chili's, Jimmy John's, Cracker Barrel, and IHOP.
So you
saved Wingstop. Thank you.
Yeah, you did say Wingstop. Well, Shaq.
We still got Whataburger. We got
Rick Ross.
Hey, but listen, PayPal is on that list.
I haven't used PayPal in years. They can miss me.
I'm pissed at PayPal. I don't
PayPal. I would do Venmo, Cash App, whatever, Apple Pay now, but PayPal is on that list.
You got to use Venmo because I think PayPal owns Cash App too, I believe.
Yeah, they do. So I'm Venmo. So you can't put our Cash App.
Now, sorry.
We need that.
We gotta switch that up. We gotta switch that up.
I mean, pretty soon here we're gonna run out of services to be using. So just FYI.
Well, I hope that there becomes like an updated list where hopefully some of these people will back out from that. I mean, this is going off of what's been supporting him. So hopefully some of these people kind of back out. I don't know. I can't say that they will, but hopefully somebody gets a clear head over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once Apple and Samsung do it, everybody got to get rid of their phones too. So
and that's gonna be so hard because it'd be hard for me to go to personal. I can't do that. I can't do that.
You don't want a BlackBerry? You don't want a BlackBerry?
Sir,
I'd rather send a picture.
Sir, we gotta put our foot down somewhere. I ain't giving up my iPhone.
I cannot give up Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry.
Y'all don't want a BlackBerry?
Sorry.
No, don't want a BlackBerry.
If Motorola comes back with a dope BlackBerry, I'm with it.
Let me get my two-way back out because I can pull that sucker out.
Nextel.
Hey, my Nextel phone right in the closet. It's a flip, but and it still got the chirp. I can totally do that too. Yeah.
Hey, and Mel, while you giving Pam's high five, you may want to put some hand sanitizer on because she been everywhere. You give her a high five.
I keep hand sanitizer on me. Don't.
Yeah, you may want to use it right now. did that. You did it. High five.
Was
Yeah.
he not the one that told me to act right before we got on? Was he not the one that told me?
Yeah, he did. Sir, I'm so trying to be in your corner, but you make it so hard.
Pam, I apologize. Listen, Pam, I'm acting like I don't have home now, so I apologize. But it probably happened again, so be ready.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick. So what do you guys think is the status of the NFL season now? I think majority of us are excited for that. We know that now they can't leave for training camp. Training camp has to happen at their headquarters, at their home base, which means also for us here in Las Vegas that the Raiders will be going to Napa. They're going to be coming here to Henderson to their new facility here. So do you think it's going to be an on-time thing? Do you think that it's still a ways away to figure that out? Do you feel like it's going to no fans? Will there be fans? Any ideas?
Look, Mel, the NFL is like $1 billion industry.
It's
you know good and well they're going to get something going. It won't be fans, but the viewership and all that will be watching. I need something because I was up here watching Game 6 of the 2012 Boston.
Oh, stop.
No, Boston. No, Miami and Boston. And I'm getting mad at LeBron for missing free throws, and I know good and well that he missed them already. So I need something. I need something live. You know what I'm saying?
Miss them this year too, and next season, and every season after that.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and shout out to our Raider Stadium. I went out there while we were kind of on the lockdown and got to take a walk around that thing, and it's amazing. Today they opened the exterior window. They opened it today and had the owl torch sitting in the middle. So I'll send you guys that on Twitter so you can see it because shout out to Vance because he was saying, he told my brother he was driving by and they lit the torch. Wow. They got the picture if they lit it too because it opens. It is a huge, huge torch for Al Davis. So the aesthetics of it is incredible. The rolling in sod as well as just everything that's going on with it is it's amazing. It gives me chills as a Raiders fan. I'm super duper.
I saw your pics online when you went and saw it. That stadium, it's off the chain.
Level. And those are all my pics. I just have to kind of filter through and put them together.
So you were holding out. You were holding out.
Post one in a week or two, and then some more after that.
And I don't put everything out there. You know, I don't want to show everything.
Mo, I'm trying. Hey, don't make me turn. Don't make me turn on you too, Mo. I need to see more pics.
You put your cup down because you too rowdy right now.
No.
It's 10:30 at night. Go to bed.
No. Speaking of that, I made sure purposely not to drink any brown. You know that brown liquor it make you act a certain way. So yes.
Hey, speaking of that, KT, I actually do believe we'll actually have fans for the season.
Me too.
They already have announced here in Texas that we'll be able to start having fans at pro sports starting tomorrow. So at 25%, and we're only in June. So by the time September comes around,
Texas. Y'all have been above you guys have been first before between you and Florida and Georgia. You guys have been open. So what happens when it's another team?
Yeah, I think unless we have a complete re-shutdown of everything all across the board, which I don't see happening, even with all the protesters being on, I don't see it happening. I just think that we're going to have fans, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's too much money on the line. They're going to do whatever it takes. NFL is the beast of the sports landscape. So because of that and that alone, sports betting, all that will be back by then. Vegas, the whole 9 yards. It'll be back
here, but
it might not be 100% all the way with everything, but at least 50% of what it was and before. So they're not going to miss a beat.
I don't know. I know because Seattle's still on lockdown. Like they haven't even gotten to phase 2. They're not going to get to phase 2 till the end of June. When these riots took place, no businesses had even been open. So, most businesses when the riots started that had already been open, they were able to kind of cover windows and kind of shut things down. None of these businesses anywhere had even that chance because they'd been closed down for this whole time.
Well, that's the one thing I would say about Seattle. That is very smart. Now your Seahawks.
Well, the Seahawks will probably have to move to train and to play games. Will they go to Arizona or
they're not going to move? I mean, that's the whole thing is that you're not going to be able to start the season if less all the states that have a team are on the same team.
Yeah. So let's believe Seattle's about to get ready to open in because they're going to have football there.
Well, so they might have football, but they might not have fans. I don't know if fans. I think the start, but I don't care if there's fans. I watch it on TV. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would eventually like to go to a game at some point this season. Like I do like to.
It's all about the 12th man in Seattle.
Hello.
Come on, KT, you know this.
Serge, don't you do that. You know about the turkey grease too. You know about the turkey grease on that football.
Mute yourself, sir. Mute yourself.
I have never seen a ball that shiny on the field ever.
Mute yourself.
I even see a little number 12 behind Mel.
Yeah, it's all over. I don't know.
It's all about it.
Hold on, wait, Serge.
Mute yourself.
Serge, there are only 2 males on this show. And for some reason,
what happened to him?
See, that's what happens
That's why
when you
he
start.
froze up. That's exactly why.
God don't like
Froze up.
ugly. God don't like ugly. Yeah,
He's stuck.
That's that BlackBerry. That's that BlackBerry.
Stuck in the Matrix. He's stuck in the Matrix. That is so funny.
You knew you were about to come with a riot from your mouth.
Right.
He for real stuck too.
Yeah, he is.
But it's a good pose. I mean, you can take a picture with that one now real quick. We can all pose real fast.
Right.
Because KT ain't moving.
Well, we gonna keep it moving though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, get a picture of that. That's
I took a
hilarious.
picture.
Take a picture, please.
I'm gonna say you stuck, bro.
Right.
He is totally stuck.
I'm about to cut him off the stream and then he can come back. Like,
Wow, that's hilarious. It would happen exactly at that moment too.
Right. He was ready, and then he just.
Hold on, wait. Well, there's only 2 males on the show, and we.
It's
That
Classic.
was it.
That's what
I
he
love
did.
it.
Talking all that trash.
Let's talk about this real quick too. Let's talk about ESPN because they put out a statement about everything that's happening, and it's kind of like an "I told you so" moment from Jemele Hill because she put those things out and lost her job and got reamed.
Her tweet was good.
Before 2 to 45, their alliance with that. So, what is your guys' take as far as ESPN? Is it as too late? Too late to apologize type situation, or they got a chance to redeem themselves, or what do you?
I think it's too late for everybody to start apologizing right now. I just like you didn't want to hear it, you didn't want to pay attention to it, and now you're going into mode. Like no. I just feel it's too late for all of these apologies and all. I can't.
Yeah, I think when it comes to stuff like this, even when it comes to some of the previous people that we talked about, I get it. They didn't do what they didn't maybe understand, or maybe they understand. The whole apology thing is okay. It's really whatever. I'd rather just see you just like go out and actually do something. And so if I actually start seeing actions, then I will appreciate your apology when you do what you are trying to preach that you understand now and we apologize or whatever. And on a side note, I know this has nothing to do with ESPN, but I'm very happy that Fox Sports 1 got rid of Jason Whitlock.
Oh, that is the silver lining to all of this.
I didn't even know about it till Matt Barnes posted it, and I was like, wait. I was like, wait, no, because I'm like, I watch some of his stuff sometimes. I'm like, wait, how does he?
So is Marcellus Wiley taking over the show? Maybe Marcellus is taking over the show now. Right?
I'm hearing that they're looking into Michael Rappaport. But I don't think it'll be consistent. I think just until they find a proper replacement, like full time to go with Marcellus, and then there's people that have left ESPN in the last 4 or 6 months. There's always guys out there that anybody will be better than Jason Whitlock. I mean, shoot, one of us can go on there. We're going to be better than Jason Whitlock.
I mean, that was the silver lining of the day. And I totally forgot about Jason Whitlock not, losing his job. And I was like, you know what? That was the best news ever. The best.
Right.
That dude right there, man, he had it coming. And
well, he deserved it. He said a lot of things. And when LeBron James had that spray painted N-word on his fence, Jason Whitlock made excuses. He makes excuses
all the time.
It's not even playing devil's advocate. It's just on the other side.
His whole approach of this younger generation or our generation of athletes are spoiled, and they don't understand. They make all this money and they don't know where they came from. I'm like, what? Like, like sometimes you have to bring context with the situation. So if I don't have to agree with you, like Skip Bayless, like I don't like the guy. Like, I disagree with him a lot, but I respect where he's coming from because he at least gives context behind his stuff. Right. He hates on certain players, but when it comes to people in general, you don't hate on people. You know what I mean? Like he talks about on the field, on the court, but Jason Whitlock goes above and beyond.
He does. He takes it to a whole nother level that you've never seen before.
He brings it political more than anybody else, and I'm like, nobody else is bringing political, but you infiltrate it and try to make people look bad because of your experience. And I've been seeing that 4-letter C word thrown around about him from a lot of people. And
yeah, he's been on the list we personally have, and he's been on that list for a very long time. So it's just the chicken's coming home to roost because it's like I said, it's a wake up call for a lot of people to be like checking themselves and checking themselves real quick.
But the thing is,
oh wait, you're back.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what happened. It was really bad timing. But I wanted to come on and say, hey, y'all didn't have to kick me out.
We should all freeze real quick, bro.
That's what I was doing. I was like,
no, my internet went out of the house, so I had to go on my hotspot.
But
with Jason Whitlock, I wanted to say y'all kick me out. But with Jason Whitlock, he's saying that he's going to try to start his own little network because he knows nobody else is going to hire him.
No,
and nobody's going to watch that crap either.
Nobody's going to listen to it, watch it, nothing. He thinks he's got Bill
right there with his Wendy's and get bigger and bigger. Go for that, bro.
Yeah, I can't even get a 4 for 4 anymore, man. That hurt my soul. I gotta actually cook.
In-N-Out burger ain't on the list, and I know you guys don't know about In-N-Out, but if you ever come to the West Coast,
but we got In-N-Out here, but
we have In-N-Out here.
Oh, okay.
It's no better than Whataburger.
I've still never had it.
Whataburger is where's that?
Whataburger.
I like Whataburger, but I haven't had it in so long since I was in school down there that I don't know. But In-N-Out. I'm In-N-Out girl. I don't know why. Yeah, but Jason's got to go. I'm glad that he's out of there.
Yeah, big time.
And yeah, we can breathe a little bit on that one.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what did I miss while I was out for
nothing?
We was talking about you, the Cowboys. They suck. I mean, it was
Yeah, it was nothing of importance for you, I guess. But
not really.
Well, Serge, you ain't got my back anyway. Let somebody else tell you.
I know. Mo asked about the ESPN statement and what was thoughts behind. Is it too late for
them to apologize? And then with the firing of Jamel Hill. Is it kind of like an I told you so moment? And will they, what is your take as far as that vibe with ESPN?
It's too late for all of that. Jamel Hill went out there. She's established herself without ESPN. She's doing a great job, so she didn't need it. And I really hated that her and Michael Smith are not on ESPN anymore. I love their show.
I love their show.
I knew once they went to that 6:00 Sports Center that they were done.
They knew they knew that was happening to them, and that was unfortunate. And your sister Pam over here agrees with you because that's exactly what she said. That it's too late for apologies on a lot of these folks.
Josina, hey, Pam, I'm proud of you.
Right?
Sometimes. Josina Anderson is gone too.
Yeah, I just saw that as of last week.
What? I didn't see that.
A couple days ago.
Yeah,
but I don't think that hers was anything related to like Jason Whitlock type of deal. I think hers was just either contract was up.
No, I think she was trying to get like her own show.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
And they wouldn't give it to her. I'm like, as much pull as she had, as many stories as she broke for y'all couldn't help her out.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Especially in that industry.
Shout out to our Black media and journalists because that's, a lot of them get to see the same things that happen.
Right.
They're right there.
But even more so because she's a female, like that's
right.
That being female and African American, I mean, you're climbing up from the very, very bottom. And so for her to, I believe she's going to be great, whatever she does, and she'll be right there with Jamel Hill being successful in whatever endeavor she crosses.
And I got a story about Joseph. I got a story about her. She was following me on Twitter for about a couple of months before she got big. No, listen, her first interview she did terrible on the sidelines. And people were killing her on Twitter. I sent her a message. I said, hey, you'll kill it next time. she followed me after that. But then when she got big, I guess she's like, I don't need him anymore. So I guess she kicked me to the curb.
That's what I plan
But she
on
did
doing.
follow.
How many times have you told that story?
It's probably like my third time today.
So is Jay-Z influential for this NFL thing or what? Is his seat at the table still good with us? How are we feeling, folks?
Say it again.
With Jay-Z, is he still at the table? I mean, he's met with Goodell. He was fighting for social injustices, supposedly, and all of them. We're beyond kneeling. So what is that an E-Crow moment for Jay-Z? What is your take as far as him and saying what he said? Yikes.
I think Jay-Z's, I think his motives were meant to be good to try to bring,
but
it's just hard for me to say. Yeah, the approach was right, but then I guess like what the musical guests and stuff like that, trying to incorporate that, like that's all we're good for is music. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm tired of commercials like McDonald's. They used to have R&B songs. I mean, you like your food. Yeah, you don't have to just
got a job story.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But I think his intentions were good. And I think he's still working behind the scenes. But you're dealing with the NFL. You're dealing with a monster. So it's going to take more than him, to get changes.
Yeah, I think he needs to stick to Rock Nation Sports and just concentrate on developing and teaching younger athletes and go to colleges and make college athletes understand, like when you do make it to the pros, like how to handle your money, those type of things. I think he'd be better at doing because all that other stuff with the trying to infiltrate music and stuff into it's sports. Like there's times when we need to mix sports and music, but what he's trying to do, no, this is not it. That's not what Cap was trying to do. Right. That's not what Ed Reed is all about. Like they weren't ever really trying to even what they do off the field, they're not mixing any of those stuff together. It's like one has nothing to do with the other, So once you get it to a point where you have more inclusivity, then you can bring in the music and it makes more sense, Right.
But I just need him to fix the halftime show of the Super Bowl. That's what I need him to fix. If we're gonna do something, let's fix some of that. Oh no! Whoa! Okay, yes, ma'am. I loved J-Lo and Shakira. I'm talking about some of the older acts.
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about. Oh, you think I love J-Lo?
So if we had to rank our best Super Bowl halftime performance, which artists are you giving it to? I know mine. But who's your guys' best?
Beyonce.
Beyonce's yours? That's my second one.
Mm-hmm. I like Prince.
That's my first.
That's her first.
I like Prince. I gotta go Prince. I like Prince. I like Bruno Mars, and I like Beyonce. You can't go wrong there.
That's my top three.
Yeah, I'd probably say Bruno Mars.
I did like Bruno Mars too.
It's more recent and etched in my memory. I feel like Bruno Mars was definitely up there. Just because he's doing when you're able to really put on a show where you're actually able to sing and dance, which not many people can do that. Obviously, like on the female side, that would have been Beyonce, and obviously this past year Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. I mean, J-Lo could have done it by herself and it would have been fine, but Shakira Spice.
Man, we don't care about J-Lo singing.
J-Lo was not
care about her singing?
J-Lo don't sing anyway. Yeah.
She was not.
I could care less about J-Lo singing. That's not what we.
I know. That's what a lot of guys say. Mel,
KT was tuned in for whenever, wherever, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite one, Melissa?
I think. I mean, I how can you not say Prince? I know Beyonce was good. I still like Janet and Justin too, though. I mean,
I still remember where I was when that happened.
Malfunction. That was good until the malfunction.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, but it was good. But the malfunction really didn't take away from the I mean, for me, it didn't take away from the actual performance.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it was
it didn't take away. I didn't pay attention to my homeboy. Hey man,
I didn't realize it happened.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I think it's time that we wrap this one up. We appreciate you guys coming on. Make sure you say thank you to KV for us. We appreciate you. I appreciate everybody's insight. I know I'm trying to do my part to stick up for all of you and for all the rest of my Black friends out here. I'm exhausted for y'all. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to be with me and Mo. We love just interacting with our people, especially when it comes to sports and topics. And we loved your show, and we just can't wait to hopefully do this again sometime. Maybe you'll be in Vegas. We can be in a studio, you know.
That's the plan, to come there next year.
Hey, the draft. Yeah.
Hey, Mel and Mo, Pam called me out for this about a month and a half ago. She said, when my beard grows out long, I look black, even though I'm not. So just
you're still our brother. You're still our brother, Serge. And I knew
we
you
did. Like on one show he had on the hat, and I was like, okay, Serge, I see you looking cool.
Hey, Serge is part of the tribe. Serge is the tribe. You know,
we got the diversity down in the show right here.
Original man. That's what you're looking at. We're looking at our originators.
Right.
The original guy.
You know.
We would all be Serge, out there if we, didn't get kidnapped.
It's all about inclusivity, and that's what it's all about here.
Well, Serge, we still need to go to India to get that hair implant stuff, right? Are we still going to get that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and I'm not a weed person. I'm not trying to stereotype, but I may need some hair out there. Is it cheaper there?
Well, no, yeah. Hey, Mo, he was telling me about a procedure they do where you can get your hair back, and
no, they can do it here.
Coach has none. Coach is bald headed.
It'll cost 15 to 20 grand to do it here, but I can go to India and do it for like 2-3 grand.
2 or 3 grand.
What? Wait, 2 or 3 grand?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? I'll keep this bald head. I'm good.
Maybe LeBron went there.
No, I said if you do it here, the same procedure is 15 to 20,000.
It is. It's cheaper.
If you go to India, even with paying a plane ticket, if you add the ticket, I guess it'd be like maybe 3 to 4. But I'm saying the procedure itself, I've had a couple of friends who went and did it already. So
you know what though, I can't see KT with a silky though. What other kind of hair y'all got?
I can't see that.
I actually have.
Don't make
Y'all got go ahead and bring those cornrows back in.
No, I had good hair.
No, you didn't. You had.
Have you seen my son's hair? Have you seen my son's hair?
Damn, stop killing him like that. He has good hair.
So y'all got some 4C back there?
I have 4C up here. I already know.
5W or something? No, sir, that's not 4C. That's like 2A.
Pam, you are really showing you know what tonight. You are really showing you know what.
You guys,
where can everybody follow you guys at? Where are you guys at? What's your podcast?
Sports Life Podcast.
Sports Life Talk.
Sports Life Talk, yes.
Sports Life Talk.
Sports Life Talk.
And what are you guys on?
We're everywhere. We're on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere that you have a.
You guys are on today too, right?
Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time. We're Central Time
on
now.
Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. So, family, we got another show. We need to support. We need to promote, and this is they're great. And please check them out. Check them out before us, because guess what? They start, we finish, and we come together.
There you go.
And that is how the world should be. So on behalf of everybody and all of us with Girl Chat Sorts, Mel and I, we really appreciate you coming on. We appreciate everybody checking in on the chat and sharing and promoting. We're going to keep this positivity and love keep going and educating ourselves and making it a better place, God willing. Okay.
Amen.
I want everybody to stay safe out there. I want you guys to stay safe and stay woke and stay ready. And till next time.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies. I promise I will get it together on the 2K. I'm gonna. We'll talk.
All right. Cool. Sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.